Hi, we're recording. Welcome. I am excited to share this emotional exhale class. Helping to process and release emotions is something that I have become increasingly more passionate about as I learn how emotions really affect us at a physical level, a subconscious level, spiritual level, and how we can really use our tools to help process emotions and move past. So I'm excited. This is the first class that I'm doing in this series on emotions. So welcome. Do you feel emotionally overwhelmed? Would you like to feel clearer and stronger? Do you feel yourself taking shallow breaths? Do you have lots of buried feelings under the surface? Do you feel your chest tightening and restricting, your airways restricting? Do you worry that if you feel the emotions inside, it's going to drown you? Does your body seem to be holding everything you've experienced over the past few years? Then you're in the right place, and you're not alone. Because we're going to look at the what, the why, and the how of all of that overwhelm. And then we're going to forge the way out, most importantly. It's time to get unstuck, to let go of the weight that's holding you down and move forward in peace and power towards the best version of yourself. It's time for deep, soul-altering breath, one that reaches the places of hurt and trauma, acknowledges the pain, truly heals the wounds, and lets you live from a place of safety. It's time for an emotional exhale. So emotions are part of our everyday lives. They're unavoidable and they're valuable to us. Emotions are reactions that we experience in response to events or situations. And the type of emotion that we experience is determined by the circumstance that triggers the emotion. For instance, a person experiences joy when they receive good news. A person experiences fear when they feel threatened. There's a physical reason for this. Our brains have specific areas where we process emotion. The system of the brain responsible for memory and mood is the limbic system. It includes the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, and the amygdala. When we look at the structure of the brain, we see that the amygdala, a tiny almond-shaped structure, is key when it comes to emotion and fear. The hippocampus is where new nerve cells are created, and it is physically beside the structure responsible for emotions and is connected to the nose via a cranial nerve. That may sound a bit like a lot of science jargon, but listen to that again. The part of the brain where new nerve cells are created is connected to the part that processes emotions and is also connected to the sense of smell. That is powerful. That is how we can process trauma. That is how we can rewire our brains. That is how we move forward in peace. And that is what we are going to talk about in this class. Everyone carries unprocessed emotions from experiences to some degree. However, emotions that aren't dealt with don't just go away. They can affect the way you think about yourself, how you react to stress, your physical well-being, your relationships with others. I have noticed as I've learned about all of these things, how emotions and past emotions, things from my childhood, that are long forgotten, but they're not forgotten by my body. And it impacts all of these things. So we want to utilize the tools we have to dig deep and release the emotional baggage of trauma that is weighing us down. So let's put those emotional backpacks, so put down those emotional backpacks and utilize the beautiful system of our minds and bodies to find that emotional exhale that we desperately need. So Emotions and the nervous system. Our emotions are closely linked to our physical bodies. If you've ever felt like your stomach churn from anxiety, or your heart starts to beat faster with worry or fear, you know this is true. You have a physical reaction to emotion. This is because of the central nervous system. Quick science lesson. The central nervous system has two branches: the autonomic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system controls involuntary body responses, such as blood flow and digestion. The sympathetic nervous system is charged with controlling your body's fight or flight reactions. Both of these systems are affected by and involved in our emotional responses. So for now, let's focus on the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight response. We'll be in one of three places with our sympathetic nervous system. Pay attention and see where you think you land right now. Ventral, aka the right amount of energy. You feel calm, you feel grounded, able to give and receive connections with others. Sympathetic, aka too much energy. We are hyperactive, frustrated, angry, yelling, anxious, panicky, defensive. And then dorsal, which is drained or no energy. We are shut down, closed off, depressed, zoned out, numb, hopeless, and sluggish. Now, as you think about those three states, maybe think about times where you fell into each of those three. A time when you were in ventral, when you had the right amount of energy, you were like calm and grounded, it was perfect. A time when you had too much energy. I mean, this just happened to me the other day here. I had too much energy. I was hyperactive. I was wanting to organize everything. I was frustrated with my kids. I was snapping at them. In a time where you were dorsal or had just no energy. And I think about like just the other day when I was overwhelmed by things going on with the house, overwhelmed with finances, and I just shut down. I don't want to do anything. I did not want to do a thing. So you usually can think of a time when you are all three of these. What does that look like for you to be in ventral? What does it feel like emotionally, physically? What about sympathetic? What's that look like? What's that feel like? I can see it. I know how I am with my kids when I'm there. And how about dorsal? Write it down. Pause this video. Write down what those three things feel like, or time you were in one of those states, what that really felt like. This is going to help you identify the state of your sympathetic nervous system and your triggers for activation. What triggers you to be in ventral? What triggers you to be in sympathetic? What triggers you to be in dorsal? That's really important. It's why our goal is to spend as much time as possible, obviously, in ventral energy. But past trauma and pain can hijack the system and send us down the spiral into an activated sympathetic state, or further down into a depressed, numb dorsal state. That's why it's so important for us to identify trauma and process and heal the past so that we can rewire those responses and spend our time in a calm state with the right amount of energy. This is also the energetic state where we can grow, where we connect, where we thrive. And you guessed it, one of our best tools for rewiring the system is essential oils. So how do essential oils help with our emotions? And I love this because I've experienced this happen so many times with things, and I love sharing stories with others about this. But the short answer is because of the power of aromatherapy and the limbic system. So our sense of smell, think about it, is directly related to our emotions and mood. The cranial nerve associated with smell goes from your nose into your brain and extends into the hypothalamus, the area of the brain responsible for mood, for feelings, and emotional processing. This is why a scent can trigger a memory or even a feeling. Maybe vanilla reminds you of baking cookies with your best friend. Lavender reminds you of your grandmother. I think we all have experienced something where we smelled something and it like brought us right back to something from our past. That's why aromatherapy is so effective when it comes to processing emotions and dealing with needs such as anxious thoughts, stress, and even low mood. Essential oils are also great for emotions because they contain constituents that can cross the blood-brain barrier to help reprogram bad coding as a result of trauma. Then other compounds rewrite the code to restore the original perfect copy. One that will not keep us pulled into the physical and emotional response to stress. And this is a process, but the great thing about essential oils is that we have a choice to embrace the process instead of loading our body with toxins, with chemicals, and with other things that just create more confusion with the cells. I could go on about this. I love sharing with people what I learned when I was at care training. And if you think about your brain, we talked about the blood-brain barrier that's there as a protective covering around the brain so that certain things that we put into our body, we would not want those molecules getting across into our brain. It would be harmful. But essential oils, the constituents in essential oils are so tiny that it actually crosses that barrier and gets to the brain, which is good. That's what we want to happen. And then there are different constituents in essential oils, things like phenols. They help to get rid of the bad in our cells and reprogram our cells to the natural state, if that makes sense. There's also no shame in using conventional tools available to help you, like when this is needed. But remember, they're intended for use while you're also doing the emotional work. I see so many people who use conventional tools as a band-aid, as a way to cover it up. I feel this, I don't want to feel it, so I'm going to take this thing to help me not feel it. We're never allowing our body to actually process that feeling and release it. That's why adding essential oils, daily affirmations, and emotional processing to your daily routine can help you truly rewire the system to create a more peaceful baseline for your emotional health. When it comes to bringing products into our lives and homes, we want to know that we have a company we can trust to keep our best interest in mind, to be on the up and up with new research, to be kind to people and the planet. We want peace of mind, knowing we're getting the best possible options, especially when it comes to farming, harvesting, and distilling our plants for our oils. And that is why we love Young Living. This is why I decided to go with them, why I ultimately decided to partner with them and share them with others. Young Living is a company dedicated to purity and purpose. In a world where there are bottom lines and investor-driven quotas, Young Living is family-owned, farm-driven group of people that simply want to create the very best sustainable oils and products for the people that we care about. It's why you'll see things go out of stock, because they are not going to use poor farming practices to keep stock. They want the best of the best while also being good stewards of the land. They bring you products that will help you thrive physically, mentally, and emotionally. Products that are convenient and easy for you to incorporate into your busy schedule. Products backed by proven science and experiential evidence that will never sacrifice quality for any reason. Young Living embraces a rigorous quality control standard to help ensure that all products meet strict specifications. Seed to Seal is the Young Living commitment that helps ensure that every pure essential oil and Young Living product your family uses, you're enjoying the benefits of global resources, industry leadership, and over 2 decades. It's almost 30 years of innovation. The result is a pristine final product that you know has been created with conscientious sourcing, science, and standards. The 3 pillars of Seed to Seal. I have to share that because there is so much noise out there, especially as essential oils become more popular. It's really important to know that you are getting the best of the best. So let's talk about why we're here today. How do we release our emotional patterns? Sometimes the thing that helps us buckle down and make a change is actually to let go, which sounds easy, but it takes intentional work to truly let go and not revisit past pains that feel like a gaping wound. How about you, right? Like, how many of us want to go back to things that really hurt us? I know I don't. It's not something I want to relive. This takes work, but we're equipped with tools that help us do the work. And the starting point is taking a second to think about your past. You have probably experienced trauma and you may not even know it. So let's talk about trauma because it's a bit of a buzzword. We're hearing it a lot, especially in education, which I am in. But honestly, there's a good reason for that. We've all experienced things in our lives that shaped us for good or for bad. And oftentimes we've experienced trauma that's created habits and responses in us that can often be overlooked. Do you feel easily overwhelmed? Yes. Anxious about the future? Frustrated with how your life has turned out? Easily annoyed with family or coworkers? Do you snap at people when you really don't want to or mean to? That's likely because you have trauma that needs to be processed. For our purposes, for this class, trauma can be defined as any situation where you got less than you needed and you were not equipped to process it. I'm going to say that again. Trauma is going to be defined as any situation where you got less than you needed and you were not equipped to process it. It may have been a parent who worked long hours to provide for the family, making them unable to attend things of yours, school events, sporting events, other things. It may have been adoption. You may have wonderful, loving adoptive parents, but you still carry a wound from before that time. It may have been an acute event that you vividly remember. The point here is that we likely all have trauma, and sometimes it takes a little digging to find it, to find how it shaped you, to find how it's showing up in your life today. And if we don't do the work to process these emotions, they remain stuck in our bodies and subconsciousness where they continue to wreak havoc. This is what I've noticed in my life. I can now identify when I'm acting a certain way, and I know it's because of past things from my childhood that I have not fully dealt with and processed, and it comes out in my mothering with my own children. And I do not want to carry on that like generational issue. I want to be where it stops. So what do? We take active, intentional steps to release those emotional patterns. Essential oils are wonderful tools for this. We can use scent to revisit past pain, honor the experience, heal the wound, and move forward in peace. We have the capability to rewire those pathways of trauma that are causing our nervous systems to move into fight or shut down mode. And that's powerful. So how do you do this? You're going to grab an oil and isolate what emotion you are feeling. What is the emotion? Think about the opposite of that emotion and deeply inhale the oil as you sit quietly. After a time, practice rewiring the pathway with truth or affirmation. And you're going to do this daily as you think through a specific event or a specific emotion. So one of my favorite books, I should have brought it up here to share with you, but I own it, is Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. I use this book when I was really struggling during our move and not really sure. I was fighting indecision. I used this book to look up indecision, find the oil that went along with it, and find the affirmation that I should use. So here's an example. Let's say the emotion is anxiety. The other side of anxiety is confidence. And the way out, an affirmation, is peace, be still. So maybe you choose lavender and you isolate that emotion, anxiety, where you feel it in your body, and you focus on the other side. You focus on confidence. And as you're focusing on confidence, you're saying to yourself, peace, be still. And you're breathing in the oil, thinking about confidence, saying peace, be still as you breathe in that oil. You do this when you feel anxiety. So you're rewiring that part of your brain. Maybe the emotion is disappointment. The other side of disappointment is freedom. And the way out is I trust my vision. For grief, the other side is happy. The way out is change brings growth. Judgment, other side is regard. And the way out is I am discerning. Misery, last example. Misery, the other side is joy. So joy would be an awesome oil to use. And the way out is I am free. So I would love if you are listening to this class and you can pinpoint an emotion and you want to know what the other side of that emotion is and what the affirmation is for it, just reach out and I will share with you. So another great way to process emotions is through movement. This can be walking, yoga, swimming, cycling, just as long as the movement physically moves your body through the space. You're going to grab your oils, apply them, diffuse them as you move, breathing in the oils as you mentally and physically process your emotions. For some individuals, these steps also include therapy or counseling. There's a lot of value in third-party listening and giving insight into your experiences, and great healing can happen in those safe spaces. Truth is a good thing. It's a necessary thing and can feel like a complex thing as well. Your past pain and trauma is true, and so is the ability for you to find freedom from it. Everyone's trauma is different, but remember that our definition here is a time where you did not receive what you needed and you were not equipped to handle it. Using oils and truths or affirmations or verses will help you rewire the pathways in your brain to create new ones that are peaceful and whole. You're just retraining your brain. I'm reading the book Limitless Mind, and it's all about how through repetitive actions of things, we can tighten and strengthen the mitochondria, making new connections, making things that once seem hard easier. This is the same thing. You are rewiring something in your brain that is emotionally based. All right. So speaking truth over our lives, our situations, and even our past is essential to the emotional release process. And this can be done in multiple different ways. So choose one that feels good to start with and consider adding in some of the other practices as you move forward. My first, the easiest one, the one I share the most with people, is affirmation. So this can be as simple as identifying the emotion you want to release, finding the opposite of that emotion, and repeating a mantra or few each day as you breathe in an essential oil. Keep this mantra front and center. Grab a dry erase marker and write your affirmation on a mirror. Then spend 5 to 10 minutes a day looking at your reflection and reciting these affirmations while you breathe from the oil or diffuse your chosen oil. Stick a reminder on your phone so that it pops up through the day. Grab the oil, it'll remind you what your affirmation is, and breathe it in as you say your affirmation. There's a lot of power to actually saying it out loud, not just thinking it, but verbalizing it, putting it out there. Journaling is another one. This is one that I'm just starting to get into. Writing can be a really powerful tool for processing emotions. This can look like writing a letter to a younger version of yourself, to a parent or a family member, never giving it to them, but writing it to them, to the good girl or boy that you felt like you had to be, or really to anyone. It could be a real or imaginary or a past version of a real person. Get a pen and paper, and instead of typing, as our eyes track and process differently when we type on a blue light device, so get a pen and paper. It's just better than when you're trying to track on the blue light device. It's more effective on paper. Fire up your diffuser, apply an oil on your wrist, inhale as you write. This is so powerful. A detox bath is another tool. Because our emotions affect our physical health, and because we really need to slow down to process them, taking a long bath can be great for processing. You also might feel this as you start to go through this process. You might feel things, you're like, you know what, I need to soak in a detox bath. So grab a thing of Epsom salts, add a few drops of your chosen essential oil or the blend you're using, fire up your diffuser as well, and then sit and soak as you isolate your emotions. Find the other side and process through any trauma that you uncover. Continue to breathe in the oils as you go. Visualization. You can use visualization to revisit a past pain and rewire the pathways to your brain to move your central nervous system into a safe place. So think back to a painful period in your life. Who was there? What did it look like? How did it feel? How old were you? Sit there for a moment. Now visualize someone who feels safe, strong, and nurturing to you. It can be a real person. It can be someone fictional. It could be Jesus. It could be someone you make up. Imagine that person coming in to give the younger version of yourself exactly what you needed in that moment. As you move forward, as we move forward and talk about essential oils for emotional release, I want you to come back to these practices as a way to actually work through your emotions and trauma. Add at least one to your daily routine, and then add in others. We know that our sense of smell is directly related to our emotions and mood because of the limbic system. That means we can intentionally use aromatherapy to process past trauma, rewire the signals in our brains, and release the negative emotions we carry. This knowledge carries such an incredible significance for us. It empowers us with practical tools for our emotional health. It means we have the power to change our thoughts. I say all the time, talk to yourself. Don't listen to yourself. You have the power to change your thoughts. We have the power to change our emotions. We have the power to change our actions, even in the face of stress. This is huge. You are not a victim. You are powerful. The practice of aromatherapy has been around for centuries and has become an incredibly popular area of study in the last decade. There are countless studies on PubMed about the ways that essential oils can positively impact health areas such as immunity, mood, emotions, sleep, racing thoughts, focus, and so much more, all on PubMed. Like I've mentioned already, aromatherapy, just breathing in essential oils, sends messages to our brain through our cranial nerves and limbic system. That means that inhaling oils triggers this area, helping us to rest, reset, and recharge. And diffusing is a great way to get the benefit of these oils for more than one individual. This can be simple as grabbing an essential oil blend, adding 10 drops or so to your diffuser, setting it next to you while you sit quietly, while you journal, meditate over scripture or affirmation, or even revisit a past trauma and visualize what you needed in that moment. I have my diffuser running right behind me. If I am in a room, I have a diffuser going because I know, number one, yeah, it makes the space smell good, but I specifically choose oils to target different things. So I have in there Sacred Angel and frankincense because during this class, I wanted to feel grounded. I wanted to feel like intuitive. I wanted to know maybe, you know, what my listeners needed to hear. And these oils really. All right, we're back. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the recording, but it cut out. So I'm back. Let me reshare my screen. All right. Sorry about that. I lost connection. We'll have to see what happens. All right. So we're going to go back to where we talked about speaking truth over our lives. Find one of those actions that we talked about, sitting quietly, breathing in essential oils as you do this to further rewire the connections of your brain. So now I want to go into a couple of the best oils when it comes to emotions. I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as possible because I don't want this class to be too incredibly long, but I want you to know about these oils. So you've got release. Release is one of the most powerful emotional tools around. It's a blend of ylang ylang, lavender, geranium, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, grapefruit, tangerine, lemon, blue cypress, divana, which is a powerful emotional oil, lime, acacia, jasmine, chamomile, blue tansy, which is highly supportive and calming to the central nervous system, and rose. That's a lot of oils in one blend. You're getting the benefits of all of those oils together. So in short, it is a powerhouse blend of highly valuable oils that are high frequency and that help us tap into past trauma that we've experienced, honor the experiences, heal the wounds, and release the pain to move forward into our full potential. Royal Hawaiian sandalwood and blue tansy specifically help to stimulate the pineal gland to remember and release past hurts and to soothe the central nervous system, which is our fight or flight system. And then citrus oils like grapefruit, tangerine, lemon, and lime are great tools for processing feelings of sadness and grief, which always come in the presence of trauma or distress. So basically, the oils in this blend are perfect for helping you find that emotional exhale. Remember, trauma here is defined as any situation where you got less than you needed and you were not equipped to process it. These traumas actually get stored deep within our cellular memory, and we can use the limbic system of the brain to help shift our thoughts and emotions around these traumas and patterns. Release essential oil blend can help process feelings of anger, frustration, being held back, rebellion, feeling wronged, fear of success, and loss of identity. It can help promote the positive side of these feelings like cleansing, freedom, harmony, and unconditional love. So here are some emotional exhale practices if you are using release. Diffuse it throughout the day, diffuse it with lavender at bedtime, apply it topically to your wrists, over your heart, edge of your ears, and your feet, and remember to use it every day. Repeat a positive affirmation that rings true to you for your situation. I am safe. I am loved. I am valued. I am open to success. I acknowledge the past and I am ready to move forward. Ooh, that is a good one. That's one I might be trying. Valor, one of my favorites. Valor is a popular blend of frankincense, black spruce, blue tansy, camphor wood, and geranium that's helpful for many emotions around our activated sympathetic fight or flight response. Thus, its battle-worthy name. In fact, this oil is inspired by the oils that Roman soldiers would bathe in before battle. The oils would sit atop the water in their bathhouses, and this special blend was added before a big battle. When they rose from the water, the oils would soak and stay on their skin to help prepare them for something big and scary ahead. It's why it's the confidence oil. This is the oil that I wore every day as my perfume as I was like stepping outside my comfort zone in bigger and bigger ways. Valor's woodsy, calming aroma from a blend of black spruce, blue tansy, and frankincense. That's where it comes from. And it's a key oil in overcoming emotional abuse and recovering from trauma. It's a powerhouse when facing a trial or a season of adversity because its natural properties help align the body emotionally and physically. Our emotions and trauma are often stored in the physical tissues and fascia of our bodies, and essential oils help release stuck emotions and tensions at a physical level from specific parts of the body. So if you are feeling resigned, like you just can't fight it, put it on your diaphragm. If you're feeling like you're losing a battle, just below your lower lip. Feelings of conflict, abdomen, and just above your right and left hips. If you're feeling aggressive, put it on your abdomen, just above your right and left hips. And if you're feeling defensive, put it on your stomach. Valor has properties that get to the core control centers of the negative emotional programs. When we're ready to make a change, to start challenging that fight or flight survival mode with a better way of thinking and living, this is the perfect oil. So some emotional exhale practices you can apply to your shoulders, the bottom of your feet, the back of your neck, or anywhere you're experiencing tension or stressful tightness in your body. Diffuse it as you journal or as you walk through visualizations. Diffuse it while you sleep. Place it between your wrists, palm side up, then hold them. This is my favorite practice. Hold your wrists together for a few minutes and use this time to process that past trauma or emotions that are weighing you down. It really helps to align like all the energies in your body, which is why I love doing that one. Forgiveness is a beautiful blend of high-frequency oils: melissa, geranium, frankincense, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, coriander, angelica, bergamot, lemon, ylang-ylang, jasmine, helichrysum, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. So these oils work synergistically to create a calm, uplifting environment when forgiving yourself and others can help us release that stagnant, toxic thoughts that are stuck in our body's memory that act as a safety mechanism. When we experience trauma or feel unsafe, thoughts become encoded in our nervous system. And from that point on, all of our senses give us warning notes via our subconscious and sometimes conscious thoughts. These memories and thoughts can be triggered by sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell, and show up in our current experiences and pull us down. The most common emotional patterns created are self-denial, revenge, and distrust. The problem is that our bodies can't tell the difference between an emotional threat and a physical threat. And when we start feeling emotionally vulnerable, after these messages have been encoded, the body will send warnings, sometimes thousands of times per day, to keep us alive. We want to reverse these patterns to restore the blueprint of our original ability to be at peace. So emotions that are associated with forgiveness with this oil: distrust, which is felt in the gut. Distrust results from being stressed, and stress is caused by many subconscious messages pulling us in different directions. To establish that healthier pattern of trust, we need integrity, which is where our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions can become consistent. No more secret messages internally scattering our thoughts. So the old pattern is distrust. The new pattern is integrity, and the affirmation would be, I honor truth. With that, we can release old trauma and untruth that is stuck in the body and move forward with integrity. Self-denial is felt in the back of the neck, the base of the skull. The most common root of denying our own needs is expecting others to know what we need before we have asked. I feel like you. This leads to living in a spirit of neglect, blaming others, unforgiveness. In fact, it often looks like taking care of everything under the sun except for ourselves, and an underlying thought cycle that we're the only one that does anything around here. You smile because that's definitely a thought in my head often. So the old pattern, self-denial; new pattern, wisdom; and the affirmation, I support myself. When using forgiveness blend, like meditate on the opposite of the above, the emotions that I talked about. Supporting yourself, finding awareness to honor your experiences, detaching from allowing someone else to have a say over your worth and value. Use some of these mantras as you sit with the oil. I have courage to honor my story. I learn from all experiences. I forgive others or myself. I support myself. My inner child. This blend it combines orange, tangerine, ylang-ylang, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, jasmine, lemongrass, and spruce essential oils. This blend helps release the emotions that distort memories in our cells. Think of this like a picture or a video of past events where little edits were made to present something threatening, even if that was not the case. The symptoms of this vary widely, but you might notice some of these patterns. When someone tries to be honest, like especially friends or family, we continually hear their voice criticizing us for months afterward. We find ourselves revisiting the same short list of past hurts on a regular basis, telling stories about what someone did or said to us, thinking each time that if we just vent, that pressure, that offense will let up. We create an image of ourselves, typically a bad one. And no matter what we do to take care of ourselves, that recording makes sure we stay ashamed, disappointed, or hopeless. Or we finally start feeling better about ourselves because we've fulfilled an imaginary list of things that will make us feel accomplished, only to find that the stress of keeping up with the list starts to slowly steal from our relationships and our sanity. Inner child blend is sometimes called the therapist. When you visit a therapist, they do their work not by talking, but through listening. They encourage you to share your feelings, share your past, share your thoughts that make up your inner workings, to process through how you came to your patterns, actions, and current beliefs. Many times there were situations when someone as a child felt unseen, unheard, or unvalued. And in order to move forward, it's important to look back and allow that inner child to speak. When we consider what a child will need, we begin to see our own needs more clearly. It's obvious to us that a child that has experienced something new or difficult would require additional help and attention to deal with that event. So some practical uses for this blend: overcoming trauma of abuse, promoting acceptance, accepting our own needs, stimulating an emotional healing process, releasing obsessive patterns and habits, supporting the mind, the body, and the emotions during periods of transition. For children who struggle with intense fear, trouble letting go, trouble moving on, or who have been uprooted or experienced a traumatic change, this oil will be a huge support. So some practices, some emotional exhale practices. Place several drops in your diffuser as you process emotions. You'll notice that with any of these blends. Diffuse it with release as you sleep. Apply it around the navel and rub a drop into your palms then to inhale directly. And then use this blend on you and around you consistently. Our emotional patterns, they took a lifetime to form. They're not going to get unraveled in a day. So don't just use these oils one time. Present Time is a blend of neroli, spruce, and ylang ylang in a base of almond oil, making it great for just direct application or diffusing. You don't need to dilute this one with a carrier. It helps you focus on the here and now so you can get beyond the past and move forward. When paired with other emotional support oils, it is a powerful tool for truly being present with your current experiences and releasing the pain of the past. Neroli is steam distilled from orange blossoms, and it is the most lovely, uplifting aroma. Neroli was used by the ancient Egyptians for the healing of mind, body, and spirit. It's stabilizing and strengthening to the emotions, promotes peace, confidence, and awareness, and brings mental awareness to alleviate anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Spruce is a powerful emotional tool that helps us to open and release emotional blocks and helps foster a sense of balance and grounding. And ylang ylang essential oil promotes relaxation, balances male and female energies, restores confidence and equilibrium, and alleviates insomnia, which often occurs when we are repressing emotions. This blend of oils creates a strong, encouraging scent to increase the ability to focus on the present moment. This is amazing for moms to use as a perfume. As busy men, women, parents, caregivers, employees, we can become so focused on the next deadline, the next task, responsibility, and it becomes very easy to lose sight of what is directly in front of us. The stack of papers, the dishes, the laundry, it seems so time sensitive that we rush through the people in front of us, children, spouses, partners, friends, and even ourselves. So present time helps to allow ourselves to give and receive in the present, even when we've been hurt in the past. Some practices with this oil: wear it as a perfume each day. Apply over the wrists, over the chest, your throat. You can even place it on the crown of your head. I love putting the crown of your head, and then your hair becomes a natural diffuser throughout the day. Diffuse it as you do your visualizations, as you journal, or just sit with your feelings. And apply it or diffuse it during intentional time with your family, your significant others, or any other relationships you want to cultivate. Harmony essential oil contains some amazing emotional support oils: sacred sandalwood, lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, orange, angelica, geranium, hyssop, Spanish sage, black spruce, coriander, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. These oils work together to help us promote harmony with our minds and bodies through releasing the past, finding peace in the present, and looking forward to the future. It helps us to release toxic beliefs and thought patterns related to feeling ignored, crushed, hostile, afraid of punishment, beating ourselves up, sarcasm, and even stubbornness. When we feel ignored, our perception is that we're not part of the big picture. We aren't good enough. We aren't worthy enough or able to play our part. And when we're crushed, we're collapsing inwardly. Who we are has been forced down and suppressed, and we stop seeing our part. When we're hostile, we're quick to see others as the enemy and everything in life as an opposition to our part. We're trying to play alone because we can't trust the other parts. Fear of punishment is the opposite of love. When we're beating ourselves up, we actually turn from love into fear. They're opposites. So some practices with harmony: when there are situations where you're experiencing some of the emotions that we talked about, sit or stand still until you feel that that emotion is causing a sensation in your body. It might feel like pain, twitching, aching, nausea, heat, cold, or general tension. And then rub harmony over the area or nearby if it's a sensitive area, and hold your hand over the spot. Take several deep breaths. This is a simple step to become aware of the mind-body connection. It's okay if you don't know how to fix all of these issues right this minute. Begin embracing the idea that you have a part to play, a harmony that only you can add to the relationships and opportunities in your life. Diffuse it as you process anything, as you journal, as you visualize. And you can wear this as a daily perfume to remind yourselves of truths or affirmations for the emotions that you're processing. So diffusing is probably the easiest health habit to start. Not only will it make your home, office, car, wherever smell amazing, you can support specific needs in your body at the same time. So two of my favorite diffuser options. This is the Aria. She is the queen of all diffusers. It's one of Young Living's most popular products because it's beautiful, it's functional, it's elegant. It's crafted from American maple and beautiful glass, and it has a vibe all its own. So it's just a stylish way to bring the benefits of essential oils into your space without sacrificing your aesthetic. And the beautiful design combined with the option for music or ambient sound, plus the benefit of essential oils, is just ultimate sensory experience. And then another favorite is the Desert Mist diffuser. It's the tried and true companion. It's beautiful, it's functional. You can use it to make fun seasonal decor. You can just take off the top cover. I meant to bring it up to share since I didn't have a picture of it, but I put the base in like a pumpkin. I've put it in a tin house. I put it in a basket, like a cauldron too, and let it diffuse from there. So there's that as well. So to diffuse, you just need your diffuser, your favorite Young Living oils, and water. You add water to the fill line of the diffuser. You probably use 8 to 12 drops of oil in the Desert Mist, 15 to 20 drops in the Aria. Play around, you'll find what works for you. And if you are on loyalty rewards, when you place an order on loyalty, your second loyalty order gets you a free Desert Mist diffuser. So I'm going to talk about loyalty rewards, and then I'm going to talk about the best way to get all of the oils that we just discussed. And then in your second order, you could get the diffuser to go with them. So if you like making your life simpler, you like saving money, getting free products, a good discount, this is for you. Loyalty rewards. When you order your Young Living favorites on the Young Living Rewards program, you earn reward points that work like product credits. So you also gain access to exclusive oils, you save money, and it all shows up at your doorstep whenever you want. That's not an easy button. I don't know what is. So let's walk through a quick rundown of like what, the why, the how of loyalty rewards. So what is it? It's a customizable monthly auto ship option for ordering Young Living products. Easy button. It makes life easier. $50 or 50 PV, that's product value, orders gets points like product credits, and orders of 100 PV or more gets you free products with the gifts with purchase each month. So how do you do it? You edit your items in your cart each month. You can change your processing date. You can change your shipping options. You can customize this order each month to meet your needs. It just takes a few minutes to get started with loyalty rewards. So you add products using the add to cart. During checkout, you'll see an option that says, would you like to make this your first loyalty order? You say yes. And then all the items in your cart will process with loyalty points, and any loyalty rewards eligible items will appear in your My Loyalty Order tab once your order processes. No minimum PV required, but at least one item that is eligible for loyalty rewards must be in your cart. And then you can manage the items in your loyalty tab for next month. You can add things, you can delete things, you can move items to save for later, which I love. Like, I know I always get my dish soap, but I don't need it every month. So I'll leave it in my loyalty order, but I'll hit save for later, and it just saves it. And then I can move it back up into my cart when I want it. So orders process at midnight before the night before. So just make sure you finalize your order before it processes. So here, if you are like all in, you want to start working on emotions, the Feelings Kit collection comes with all of the oils that I talked about in this class. It includes 6 essential oil blends that you can use morning and evening for peaceful thoughts and harmony. And we've talked about these. They're each an incredible tool to have for all different reasons. You know how incredible they are. So if you're like wrestling with big emotions or trying to process hard situations, there is an amazing protocol that I can send you from Gary that uses all 6 of these oils. You apply Valor to the feet to like help cleanse your body of feelings. Then you put Harmony on the chakra points so negative energy can escape. Forgiveness goes in the navel to let go of negative emotions. And then like I said, I'd have to get the whole protocol. I forget it all off the top of my head. Hold on, I have it written over here. I just can't see it. Hold on 1 minute. Present time goes to the wrists and behind your ears. Release goes over the liver, and you wait while your feelings of frustration are lifted. Inner child goes just under your nose to open the pathway to connect with your inner self. And then lastly, you reapply Valor to complete the whole cleansing of feelings. And this is something that I like to do either in the morning to start the day or at night as I go to sleep. So Feelings Kit is definitely a great kit to put on loyalty rewards. Go back through this class, re-listen to how to use the oils, and just start by using them topically. And then month 2, you can add something else to your cart that you want through Young Living, and you will get the diffuser for free. And then you can start diffusing them. All right. So I don't have this in here because I changed it up and I forgot to add it before this class. But if you are listening to this class and you place that 100 PV order, you go get the Feelings Kit today, you will get a free diffuser from me as well, giving you 2 diffusers in month 1 and month 2. The free diffuser, I actually have it behind me if you can see it. It's the Ember. It's a small gray terracotta diffuser. So if you place your order, I will send you that diffuser while I still have them in stock. And once I'm out of them, I will have a new gift for those of you who've listened to this class. So I hope this was informative. I want to start doing more classes like this to help you. But if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, text me, reach out. I hope you got something out of this class today.